After watching potentially the worst UFC fight night card of all time, hype around the MMA community is kind of at a low point here. Now, we've had good cards, we've had good fights over the last few months, but I'd say the last month and a half has really been a down spiral. And I wanted to make a video talking about the UFC losing potentially its next big star to a rival organization. I'm talking none other than Artem Vakhitov. Artem Vakhitov, if you guys don't know, is a major deal. He was in the Contender Series. He had really good performances, and he could have been or could be still one of the biggest stars in the UFC. So who is Artem Vakhitov? He's 3-1 in MMA, 14-1 in 14-4 in kickboxing. He beat Alex Pereira in his last kickboxing match by decision. That is the biggest one right there. He has ties to the biggest star we have in the sport, and he had two amazing fights with Pereira before Pereira came to the UFC, and he won the Contender Series late last year. So why is he not in the UFC? We're gonna get to that, but all I'm gonna say is if the UFC cannot bring Vakadov back, it's going to be a big hit to the organization. You look at what he has done in kickboxing. He debuted in 2010, won his debut by unanimous decision, went on a 3 fight win streak, lost to Artem Levin by corner stoppage, lost the majority decision to Alexander Stecharenko, and then went on a 4 fight win streak, starting it off with a first round knockout over Luis Tavares and winning the title in glory in 2016. After that, he beat Saul Calveria, Ariel Machado, Daniel Wanga, Danigi Abena, and then you get to the most important part, the Pereira fight. He lost a split decision in the first fight. Very, very close fights. Um, like, honestly, when I went and watched these two fights, th- it was it was a game of inches in those fights. He fought really well and was able to get the win in the rematch, sending Pereira in the UFC. Now, when you get over to what he's done when he transitioned to MMA, we've seen a lot of people transition to MMA who are really good in either kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, or wrestling, and they never pan out. Vakadov is not one of those. His first fight, he got injured in the first round. I forgot what the injury was, but I don't really count that fight. So, in his first actual MMA fight, he won in the first round by TKO, and he demolished his opponent, got on top of them, landed some vicious ground and pound. His next fight, he won by TKO by chopping his opponent's legs to shreds. The same way Alex Pereira does it, this guy has insane leg kicks and could immobilize you with ease. And then you move on to Islam Mazov. He TKO'd him in the first round. That was a Contender Series fight. It was a major win for him. Looked really good. He won with a massive right overhand, and he dropped him. Like, it was a unbelievable win for him, and it looked like the UFC has found their next big star. And then this comes out. Kickboxing standout Artem Vakhitov turns down a UFC contract. And this arc just came out March 26th. That would have been around a week ago, I think. And this is a major hit to the UFC, man. It's Artem Vakhitov is big. At a time where they really need some superstar, power. Artem Vakhitov can be that guy. And he has ties to your biggest star. But then this came out. Artem Vakhitov reveals he is still in talks with the UFC after since recently turning down Dana White's contract offer. You know, we this is coming from Artem Vakhitov. We passed the Contender Series, and during our conversation, unfortunately, we could not reach an agreement and didn't agree on some conditions. Then we took a pause in our conversations and negotiations, and the offer came from Glory, so we took that offer. It could have made sense to fight on the lower contract in hopes of running a bigger contract, but we need to understand more clearly it could be very risky to fight for the kind of money they they offer me. So we're lowballing this guy. The guy who beat your biggest star in his last kickboxing match. Yeah, we're not gonna. Well, we can't show out that kind of money. Oh my god. Yeah, we gotta pay you the Contender Series money, man. It's just how it works, really. So anybody with an established name should never fucking go on the Contender Series. For now, we just didn't sign the contract and are still in negotiations. But now we are in glory and we are focused on this fight. And maybe we could think about the UFC after this fight. Smart. And you may be wondering what that fight is. Rico Verhoeven. If you guys don't know who Rico Verhoeven is, he's the heavyweight champion in Glory. And he will be fighting him at Glory 100 on June 14th. Massive event. Uh, or I guess it's June 13th and 14th. It means way more. This is a way bigger fight. This adds to Artem Vakhinov's legacy. He's he's fighting potentially the greatest kickboxer of all time. Now, if you guys don't know who Rico Verhoeven is, he has a record of 65 and 10, 27 and 1 in Glory, and he's been the Glory heavyweight champion since 2013. Like, that is something only John Jones has done. John Jones has been in the title picture since I believe 2012. Or, yeah. Wasn't it 2012? I think it was 2012 when he beat Shogun. Rico Verhoeven has been the champion the same amount of time that John Jones has been champion. Well, has or should have been, but he's been doing stupid shit. Since 2020, this is his record. Beat Levy Rigters in December, on December 7th, by unanimous decision. Knocked out Levy Ritters before in March of last year. Beat Nabil Kachab by unanimous decision in the Glory Heavyweight Grand Prix. Beat Sofian Waduni by unanimous decision in the Glory Heavyweight Grand Prix. 2 fights, 1 night. Or, no, that would have been 3 right there. Uh, he beat Kevin Tarico, sorry, unanimous decision, knocked out Hedzi Gerges, TKO Jamal Ben Zadok, TKO Tariq Kabarzi, and beat Hedzi Gerges by decision before that. This guy is potentially, if not the greatest kickboxer we have ever seen. And I would love to see him in the UFC. But you look at it from the eyes of Vakhitov. What is bigger? His last loss, Rico Verhoeven's last loss, was in 2015. And it wasn't even in glory. It was in Kunlun Fight 15. He lost a unanimous decision to Andre Grazmanchuk. I tried finding better pictures of this fight. There are no high quality pictures of this fight, but it was still a really good fight. So, what made the decision for Artem Vakhitov to choose to fight on Glory 100? Well, the UFC can't pay him more than the Dana White Contender Series, which, if you're curious, it's 7,000 to fight, 10,000 if he wins. 17 grand. Yeah, I'll probably get, performance bonus, so bump that up to 60 grand to fight. Or fight the undefeated Glory heavyweight champion who hasn't lost in 10 years and make in the range of $1 million. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? $10,000. And he's only gonna get half of that, right? You gotta pay your camp, you gotta pay taxes on that. This isn't a street brawler. This isn't fucking Kimbo Slice. This is one of the greatest kickboxers we have right now. This is one of the biggest names outside of the UFC. And we're gonna pay him 20K. Really. Having a win over your biggest star, 20K. And then, Dana White came out and he said, "Oh, Alex told me, yeah, he's thankful he didn't go through the Contender Series." Why the fuck would anyone go to the Contender Series now? If you are an established name, why would you go on there? I kind of past this point. Why is this a major loss to the UFC? Well, they lost a potential star that can deliver brutal KOs at a time where nearly everybody at the top now can't finish the fight, all going to decisions. Not saying going to a decision is a bad thing, but we need finishers. A guy goes 1-1 with the biggest star in the sport. Conor McGregor, when the whole shit with Conor was going down, I thought maybe we see Conor return. He's not coming back. So, Vakhitov is 1-1 in kickboxing with the biggest star in the sport. The same way, um, you know, Alex Pereira made his way to Izzy because of the kickboxing fights. He was 2-0 against Izzy. The UFC are dealing with fan fatigue and don't cut. Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. I cannot describe to you what the fuck watching last night's card was like. As far as in Gerald Marshall was a dog, it was a mediocre fight. That was one of the best fights on the cards. Really? I mean, Ian Gary, Carlos Prates, that's a big fight. What big fights am I looking forward to? I mean, UFC 314 this week. Well, we've known about that for a while. And the biggest thing is, why would anybody with an established name go through the Dana White Contender Series? Why would any high level kickboxer go through the Contender Series? Why would any big rapper, whatever be? If you draw eyes, if you sell tickets, why the fuck would you want to go there? Why wouldn't you just want to go to another organization or stay at the one you are at, like Vakhitov is doing, and try and win a belt there? Try and become a big star there. He's going to make $1 million fighting Rico Verhoeven. But the best you can do is offer him 12K to fight. Who fucking knows? Some Dagestani fighter coming in with like a 14-8 record. Nurmagomedov last name, just so you can throw that in there too. Why would anybody want to go through the Contender Series after seeing this? Why are we lowballing the only fucking star, like the star you can bring in that can potentially save your 2025? That can, get people hyped up again. Whenever we say back it up on the card, right? But no, we gotta put we gotta do Paul Craig and Anthony Smith again. That needs to be a co-main event. Um, yeah, I'm it's pissed me off. Dude. The biggest fight the UFC has announced now is Marab versus Sean 2. Sean O'Malley on a 1 year layoff. There's no animosity in this fight. They're all buddy buddy. We're not gonna get, any funny moments at the press conference. And we're always coming off one of the greatest wins of all time. He beat a Nurmagomedov. He's the only person in the world that was able to beat one of those three. The three of them have over 100 wins and now one loss. Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. Is that the big? I mean, I'm looking forward to that fight more than this fight. Yeah, you're the biggest organization in the world. They have no competition, and I think that's the issue right now. Is that there's nobody else. There's nobody else challenging them. When they have Bellator to battle, that's when we were getting banger fucking fighting cards. You know, JDS versus King Velasquez was on Fox. And now we're paying $80 to see fucking Jake Matthews on the main event. He did look really good at UFC 312. But I'm fucking done, man. I'm fucking done at, you know, getting having way too many fighters on the roster. I'm not, so we get, a bunch of random fucking fighters I have to watch. A third of them we know already aren't gonna make it to the top of the division. They're gonna go on, a 3 fight losing streak. They'll snap it, maybe go to one or two, and then lose to basically every top contenders. But we can't bring in Artem Vakhitov. We can't pay a star. Fuck, man. You bring in Patricio Pitbull. I like that move. He's 37, I think. 38, 37, 38, or somewhere around there. I don't know, man. It's not a good look. I think if they are not able to bring in the Vakhitov, if they do not offer him a generous offer, I think it's a major loss, man. I think it will be one of the biggest losses of the year. And 2025, let's face it, we got some good fights announced. USC's not doing hot this year, so they better be able to figure something out. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about Artem Vakhitov choosing to fight Rico Verhoeven at Glory 100? And do you think the UFC will be able to bring him in? They absolutely are able to. They are absolutely able to pay him. But they lowball him that bad. 25K, basically. Or fight for $1 million and possibly make history. But I'm done. I'm done getting angry. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about the Artem Vakhitov situation? How are you feeling about the Rico Verhoeven fight? And if he's able to beat Rico Verhoeven, does he even bother with the UFC? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, maybe getting Rico Verhoeven over here, that's a different conversation, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Let me know in the comments though. What do you think? I'm interested to hear what you have to say. But man, we need stars. We need stars badly in the UFC.